Again, this introduced at the time of Bayis Rishon, and that this is how they decided to add on to the Kedusha of Yom Tov by having an additional Yom Tov to it. Okay.
So, all right. First of all, remind me which page we're on, and then a question just popped into my head.
Yeah, so, a second. Let's start from that Kiddush again. So let's start from page 565, line 1, and after line 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I do have a question
go
just
ahead.
popped into my head, which is how we've got an Indian of Baltosif, so how can the guys in Chutz La'aretz add on a Yom Tov like that?
That's a good question. I don't know. We'll have to see if he answers it. If not, we'll have to come up with an answer. But I don't want, since we're just learning, I don't want to anticipate what he's going to say about it. Okay? So hold on to the question. Okay? So it says, actually, line 18, right? Let's the line before that. But instead of the Liyah L'Regel and the Karbanos, which he could no longer do, Shneimar, it says, so in lieu of that, they use instead of the cows, we use our mouths. And for the great simcha, which they have in the mitzvah, which they're commanded in the words of the pasuk, and this is described, the simcha, in the Nevi'im, of Hashir Yelachem K'leis Kadesh Chag v'Simchas Levav Keholech B'Cholil v'Goymer. This actually is used to teach us that we say Hallel on the night of Pesach. This pasuk in Pesachas Pesachim, but it's been used to teach us that there's a special simcha which is supposed to take place on Yom Tov. Kevakesh b'zes kirvas hakel, in order to request the closest of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ukdei lishkod al hodah, and to pursue the gratitude al chasadav l'vakeshes kiyum, and to request the fulfillment of haftachaso, of its promise, lachziram el eretz Yisrael, ukdei lizacher b'simcha ha'gedola hachasera, in order to remember the lacking simcha, k'desh lo tishakach, k'mo shneimar mashkachich v'shleim v'goymer, tivag l'shon l'chiki, uvakoshos kirvas hakel, and to request the closest to Hashem, by Yom Tov Sheni, by day Kabbalos Aleihem, and by accepting it upon themselves. Now that's an interesting. that is an interesting language. And if you take a look at footnote 64, it says, "Oh, it could possibly day Shmira so." How to translate the Arabic here, the Judeo-Arabic. So it's not quite the same thing. I don't know if it makes a difference, right? Kabbalah means there was some sort of massive acceptance. Shmira implies a massive acceptance, but it doesn't indicate there was such a thing. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I'm just bringing up that point. Okay? Like we learned last week, and as we learned last week, that's talking about whether he sent them on the Shmini Atzeres back home or on the next day back home, the contradiction between Divrei Yomim and Melachim, and we want to say that perhaps that underlies the statement he's making here. Okay, and also, Ukvos Masei Chizkiyo, HaMelech V'nei HaMtuar B'divrei HaKosav, V'yivatzu Koko, Lasos Shivas Yomim, V'achag Shivas Yomim. Okay, so there is a according to his parentheses here, there is a kfelus. There's the scribe wrote the same lines a couple of times. So you see the same lines appear here twice. That often happens in manuscripts. So, but in any event, so let's read it without the parentheses. Vayivatzu hakol lasos shivas yomim acherim. Vayashuz shivas yomim simcha. So, evidently, and perhaps we can go back and understand the same thing by Shlomo Melech, that it's not really that he's trying to say, I I found precisely an extra day. And that extra day is the precedent for our extra day. No, he's saying that when there is a cause to add days of Simcha and make an additional Yom Tov, we can add additional days and make an additional Yom Tov. That's what it says here by Chizkiyo. They added 7 days. Okay? So it's not, the specific number is not what we're deriving either from Shlomo or from Chizkiyo, but the notion, right?
Okay.
And the second Shivas Yomi was because we wanted to expand the Simcha, both in Shlomo and Chizkiyo. And therefore, here too, if we want to expand the Simcha of Yom Tov, we're going to add not 7 days, but we'll add a day. Okay? So Bisnadvu, and they volunteered. And since an account of the volunteerism of the king and the officers, Ba'paim Rosh Bakar, they brought 2,000 cows and Shvase Elef Rosh Tzon and 17,000 sheep as korban, which was not commanded. It was an nadava, right? It was an astronomical amount of korbanos, but they brought it as a nadava. The Toar Hamatzab V'Divrei HaKasuv, and the way it's described in the pasuk is Vati Simcha Gedola B'Yushalayim Kimei Shlomo Ben David Lo Kazos B'Yushalayim. So it's interesting. I'm assuming that the author of the Teshuvah is making parallel here. In other words, what was the great Simcha that wasn't since the days of Shlomo? That they added on 7 days. In the days of Shlomo, they added on 7 days to an initial Simcha because to expand the Simcha and enhance it. And here too, they added on 7 days to expand the Simcha and enhance it. Okay.
All right. So we still have the idea of, we still have the question of how did Shlomo know that he could get away with doing that?
Right. But we have that's a good question. But we have a precedent from there, right? The king and the Sanhedrin allowed even people who are Tomei, and these are most of the people who came up for that regel, the time of Chizkiyo, and lechos korban, to eat the korban Pesach. V'nemar bezos ki marbisom lo hitaharu. Most of them not tar v'achlu es Pesach below kakosuv. Wow. So they ate the Pesach even though it was not according to the commandment. So there was Horah Shah. There was a special dispensation that year for people who Tameh, which I guess most of the Olim, and I guess for some reason Tumah Hutra B'Tzibur did not apply to this case. I don't know why, but
exactly my question is why is it when you need a Horah Shah when we have a Mishnah from there?
Right. So it could be that most of the people, if you look at from a Dayak in this Teshuvah, so Rov Elish Kor Lohem La'alos were Tameh, but perhaps the people in Yerushalayim were mostly Tar. Okay, it could be, right? So that, in any event, he says, B'nigud l'mash nitztavu b'shon ha'shniya l'tzeisam Yerushalayim, Mitzrayim, sorry, when they were told, of course, to eat B'tara. V'chol ma'asim ha'elo yilu ratzon livnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, all of these deeds were clearly, at that time they had nevuah, so they could know these things, were accepted by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hamucha min ha'kasuv, v'yakum ha'kohanim v'alevaim v'yavorchu sa'am, v'yishma b'kolam, and Hashem listened to their voices, v'tavot tefilosam, and their voices came l'm'on kodsho ha'shamayim. So, there was, what?
That's pretty clear.
Yes. Kasher Gaza Hashem say b'mnas b'niyas habayis. Now, we're jumping forward in history again. When Hashem decreed at the time Bayis Sheni. So now we're assuming at the end of Bayis Rishon, when they went to Golos, they took upon themselves to keep to Yom Tovim. And now Hashem decreed l'sei b'mnas beso to assist in reconstructing his house for mitzvah sa'am la'asosa, and he urged the people to do it through the Nevi'im. Tiachlem Ezra Soba, and he promised his assistance. Hashem es ruach koresh melech paras, and he awakened the resolve in Koresh to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. Says melech paras again. V'kar lehem lalos Eretz Yisrael kadei l'tapel bo, and he called them to Eretz Yisrael in order to be involved in the Binyan Beis HaMikdash, the rebuilding. V'otila mesakelim ha'ikarim ha'kadoshim, and I guess Koresh, I'm not aware of this from any other source, but Koresh took out the kelim, which I guess Nebuchadnezzar has brought back, and Belshazzar had used in his Suda, and Chashverosh had then taken from him. So Koresh, Achashverosh later on though. Achashverosh after Koresh. So I guess he then sent back some of the kelim, ha'ikarim v'ha'kadoshim. Shach mibavel membes elef anoshim umasayim, 42,200 people. That's what I believe it says in Sefer Ezra. And down here it says actually no. Footnote 80. Tzarech lomar shlosh me'os v'shishim. Al pi Nehemiah Zayin 66. Okay, whatever. 42,000 and change. V'yeh Yerushalayim. And they got to Yerushalayim. V'asu es hamoed yom echad. When they got back to Yerushalayim, they waited one day. V'yigah chodesh hashvi u'bnei Yisrael ba'areim. They came to the 7th month came and they were in their cities. V'amar ki hayom kadosh laneinu. This is Torah Rosh Hashanah. Today is kadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Al te'etzvu, do not be upset. So then, shalu hanisharim bebavel es hakohanim b'Sanhedrin v'achomim shel Yerushalayim. So now the Yom Tov Rishon came back in Eretz Yisrael, right? And now they asked the people who made in Bavel asked those the Kohanim and Sanhedrin and Chachamim Yerushalayim, "Ma'ay chayivim la'asos?" What should we do? V'yamsu k'dugmasam. Should they follow the example of Eretz Yisrael? V'yachugu yom echad. Yasmid b'asiyas shemayim. They should continue to do 2 days. K'moshe shalu osam, as they asked him similarly, im yasmidu b'chiyuv v'hesped shekiblu ha'uma aleh k'chur b'chay b'churim bayis hagadol. So should they continue to mourn on Churban HaBayis? Or they should refrain because the rebuilding had commenced. I don't know if where it's going with this, but the Rambam holds that during the time of Cairo Sheni, throughout the time they did fast on Shiva Sarbat Tammuz and Teshuvah. So, because they knew that the second Beis HaMikdash was not of the same caliber as the first Beis HaMikdash. Okay. But this is earlier. This is during the time of the construction even of the second temple. Kashem Eshlach Bayis El Sharatzar V'Ragam Melech Vanashav, that's right. Vashlach Beis El. Shar Etzer V'Regem Melech, Vanashav, I don't know, I'm not familiar with this pasuk. Chalos es Pnei Hashem, Lemor LaKohanim, Asher LeBeis Hashem Tzvokos, and Lemor, Ha'evkeh B'chodesh HaShvi. Okay, that's the end of the pasuk, I know. Should I still keep the Teshuvah, in the 5th month, he knows there to refrain from food, Kasher Sisi Kama Shanim. V'ne'emar, they responded to you fasted and on the 5th month with Teshuvah and the 7th month with Tzom Gedaya. For 70 years at Tzom Tzamtzuni Oni. Did I fast myself? I guess the Kodesh Baruch Hu speaking said. It says, well, let's see. Repair Shadibur Hazeh. The explanation of this is Harei Atem Kibaltem Osam Aleichem Kechova. You accepted this time in order to quest, to yearn, to come back to connect to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Mm-hmm. So, and I guess that he's saying that it's a good thing. It's good to want to come back to be close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Aziv Tiach Alav Kmul. Tov V'Dvarav. And he promised, Kodesh Baruch Hu promised that there's good things to come out in the end. But not, I don't think, this is the ultimate promise, right? Not immediately. And the ultimate Gula. V'Tzom Harvi, V'Tzom HaChamishi, V'Tzom HaSiri, that's, Revi is Shiva Sarbat Tammuz, Chamishi is Tisha B'Av, Asiri is Asar B'Teves, Yula Beis Yudel Sosul, Simcha Modim Tovim, V'Ames V'Shalom Ahavu. And she'll love truth and peace. Okay, any event. So the response was to all these things. The response was the famous response. Minag avosechem b'yadechem. Right? And just in case you don't understand, he says in 95, Akonim Sanhedrin, Shechomim Shishol Achiv Libog Minag Yom Tov Sheni Shagolios, and presumably, although it goes back and forth here, both the Tzom and Yom Tov Sheni Shogolios. Okay? Komar, Matzavchem b'kematzav avosechem. Your state is, here comes a big shtach, taunt. Your state remains the same state as your forefather state, because you have been mishtamet, you have shirked your min aliyah l'Eretz Yisrael. See that? So you want to get out of Yom Tov Sheni, you got to come here. Your situation hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. It's changed by you, which will cause you to change the minhag. Okay? Therefore, do not deviate from the minhag. So, what in Shas seems to be because of even though the calendar is now set, is actually originally, according to this Teshuvah, because you still need to have an additional day of Yom Tov in Chutz La'aretz in order to get to the proper level of Simcha. Okay? On the other hand, it's forbidden for those who transfer their residence from Bavel to Yerushalayim to the cities. For them, it's forbidden to do 2 days. Because Hashem returned them to their land, as He promised them. They attain that great simcha, and the precious simcha, and the power, and the strength, and the fortification, and the capacity to leave nose. I don't know why this is in parentheses. It's based on Mikdash.
I think he's just explaining what.
What? Yeah. It's on the bottom. And 102, Efshar Targem, it's Gam Yashev Esa Oretz. Because I guess it Livnos, it did, I guess the parentheses weren't there. And he's putting them in. Not before. I'm curious. Anyway, but I'm not sure we're supposed to read parentheses and not read parentheses. It doesn't look like that from the absolutely no knowledge I have of Judeo-Arabic. It doesn't look like those words as Beis HaMikdash appear in the Judeo-Arabic. Anyway, so let's leave note something. And we have no words to describe this wonderful state of affairs. I think that's what he means. Here's the Bible says, flogim kol kach. That doesn't help anything. Okay? V'ramaz l'ma'et mizeh b'divrei HaKosuf. L'ma'at mizeh, sorry. V'ramaz l'ma'at mizeh. And a little of this is alluded to in the words of the Pasuk. Ki ratzu avodecha es avoneha v'esafar yichoneinu. Right? There's a Pasuk about the love of Eretz Yisrael, its stones, and its dirt. V'esafar nizkar movilim arach shav. And to this day, says the Baal Teshuvah, this dirt till today we take from Eretz Yisrael. We take the distant lands, in order to bow down upon it. Okay, which it says here on the bottom, Reis Adiyun Shel Ha'alon. There's going to be discussion of this in the future. Because we don't know anything about a miracle of that sort. We know that they take dirt from Eretz Yisrael in order to bury people with it, but here it says a new concept to bow down on it. Okay, so for them it's forbidden to keep 2 days. Kamosha Aser Leilashir Shtamptim Eretz Yisrael, just like forbidden for those who shirked the Aliyah to Eretz Yisrael, Misha Bavel, to keep 1 day. And they were rebuked in the words of the pasuk. Yan beisiya shehu charav, batem ratzim ish leveso. Okay, my house was destroyed, and you are going to your houses. And it says in 108. I don't know another author that the rebuke in this pasuk al hisrashlus At least Toshus being Beis Hamikdash is about the lack of diligence in building Beis Hamikdash, that it's the Kavanas and Leidim Shishu Bavavel below Toshvei Eretz Yisrael. In other words, I guess most Mefarshim learn that this person Chagai is a rebuke to the people in Eretz Yisrael who are not participating properly in the Binyan Beis Hamikdash. But the Baal HaTeshuvah here, it says it's referring to the people in Chutz La'aretz who would not come back. And even though V'shidelo some Koresh HaMelech La'los Eretz Yisrael, he urged them to go to Yisrael. V'silek es am Solosem, and he removed their excuses. B'dvarav, his words, Mi b'chem b'chol amo, yeh l'kov imo, is God with him, chol yishar b'chol makomos, asher ugar shem and anybody remains any of the places in Chutz La'aretz, yinasu anshem makomo b'kesef b'zahav, he should be supported monetarily by the by fellow residents, right? And that means that they were given financial means to go up to Eretz Yisrael, and still they didn't go. So that was inappropriate, right? Uvneim achareim, here he says, it's prohibited to make the Yom Tov only one day in Chutz La'aretz. Tirgum mila b'mila, little translation. Lo mutale shishtamtu min aliyah, v'lo livneim, it's not permitted, not to them and their children, achareim. Back to the text, Hanisharim or Hagorim, B'chutz La'aretz, Listos in HaMinhag. They're not allowed to deviate from the Minhag, V'lasos Yom Echad. They can't do one day. Harei Yizbar, Ki, Minhag B'nei Agola, Hagorim Chutz La'aretz, Kom Moed Shnei Yomim, the Minhag to make every day 2 Yom Tovim, Hu Kavua Aleim Ereishis HaGoyla. What? Fixed, thank you. Upon it from the beginning of the Gola, from the Gola Sibichanya. Umidor Lidor. Me'oz L'tamid. Right? It's internal. V'akonavim advim aleim ha'sholom mizgorim bein ha'uma. So, he says, the Kohanim and Nevi'im who are among the nations. So here in footnote 117, he has a good point. Savi Chavodas HaMeishiv, it's not clear if the author of the Teshuvah is referring to the Kohanim and his Kunim and his Kohanim, B'Zchariah Zayin 3, Shirasim Yotzal Yehudim Be'eretz Yisrael V'chutz La'aretz, were Moira in Eretz Yisrael 1 day, in Chutz La'aretz 2 days. Savi Im Kavanas L'Kohanim V'Yim Sheb'chutz La'aretz. Perhaps it's talking about the Kohanim who remain in Chutz La'aretz, that they made sure to maintain the minhag of 2 days. V'chein mashma mishtameh min haloshim izgorim ben ha'uma. Right? Ukeshitosem nizkoretz, it's like the shitos which are mentioned, shel Reb Sadi God, shanavim asruas ha'masores, al shmiras Yom Tov Sheni shagolios. Right? That this is something which was a masores, which was given to them, and not something which had to do with the calendar. Sharav Hai, shebeis din hadin shel Daniel v'Yecheskel, hinigu also. Read Yun La'alon. This is going to come up later on. Okay? So he says that this is back to the text. And they did it in a way which the Kodesh Baruch Hu would find acceptable. Right? There's a stark distinction and permanent distinction between Chutz La'aretz and Eretz Yisrael. Somebody who moves from Eretz Yisrael to Chutz La'aretz, he should
where he goes to.
Right. It's not a contradiction to that which are principle that Rosh Hashanah can't be on a Sunday, a Wednesday, or Friday, because obviously that's the first day of Yom Tov, right? The second day of Yom Tov doesn't matter, right? The first day of Yom Tov can't be on a Sunday, Wednesday, or Friday. It's not a principle that Rosh Hashanah itself can't be on those days, but rather only the first day. Okay. Now it's important. So he's learning that Rosh Hashanah was 2 days in Chutz La'aretz also, right? The 2 days of Rosh Hashanah in Eretz Yisrael came later on. This point, they're still only keeping 1 day, Yom Tov Rosh Hashanah, Yom Tov in Eretz Yisrael, but they're still already keeping 2 days Rosh Hashanah, right? Vasheni nosef lo umislave elav liyan himonus min tzarchei hames. and the second day is added on. I'm sorry, for the purpose of lima, and I read it wrong. It's added on to refrain. I'm sorry. Again, I read it wrong. That you're supposed to refrain from malachos chutz min tzarchei hameis, except for tzarchei hameis, because there is halacha, which is very rarely observed nowadays in Chutz La'aretz, that you're allowed to bury a mace on Yom Tov Sheni. Okay?
Question.
Yeah.
A point that comes up that strikes me is that his criterion for what you hold is where you live. So it's mashma that if you are just visiting, you should keep the way of where you come from. In other words, this, at least to me, it's mashma that if you're from Chutz La'aretz, but you're visiting in Eretz Yisrael, since you're not living in Eretz Yisrael, you should keep 2 days. And the other way around, if you're from Eretz Yisrael and you're visiting in Chutz La'aretz, you can keep 1 day. I mean, I know that's a whole question today.
Right, that's the inference so far. It's an only inference, though. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll come later on and address it more explicitly. But yes, so far that's the inference.
It is an inference, but it just seems to be a clear inference from the way he has
Yeah,
stated.
I agree. Yeah, I don't want to commit myself fully, but I agree.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, it struck me, and is the inference I'm making correct? And you're validating my inference. That's fine.
Yes. Uval seichel, a person who's intelligent, who knows, understands properly, mashin is buyer, without which explain, mevinas ayotzim naklaus understands why tzarchei hameis are different. I don't know why. I don't understand why they're different. So maybe I'm not Yodel Nachon. But for some reason, somehow we're supposed to understand from what he wrote why it's logical that tzarchei hameis are excluded from the Isser Malacha. Do you have any ideas?
Other than that, you've got an Indian of Kavod HaMeis and Kavod HaBrios, and again you've got, whereas when the second day is a Durabanan and not an Isser Doraisa, so you can say that this guy, Chesed Shalimus, all these things kind of add up that you don't want to delay a funeral, delay burying somebody.
Right. It could be, it could be also that, I like that. It could be also that since the mace himself is part from Yom Tov Sheni, so what right do we have to impede his burial? But anyway, to me it's a little bit cryptic. Okay, we can stop here for today because now he's going to start a new question.
Okay.
And this Teshuvah continues to be very interesting.
It's fascinating.
Okay.
Have you ever come across anything in any other source that says that it dates back to Galus Bayis Rishon?
Not even remotely. No. Okay. I'm curious when we get to the end of Teshuvah when he starts to suggest who it was, who he's going to suggest wrote it. Okay. Listen, I should not say that. Listen, there is the Masorah of Reb Sadia Gaon and others that it goes back to Sinai. That Moshe Rabbeinu was told, keep Yom Tov Sheni d'Rabbanan in Chutz La'aretz. And that even the Midbar they kept Yom Tov Sheni. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying it was Nischadesh at the time Golos Yechonia. And not all because of Shnei Yom Tov Shogolio. So it's really a third Shita.
Okay, so what's Reb Sadia Gaon's source for such a thing? I mean, there's no clear. It's obviously not stated in the Chumash itself. They kept 2 days of Yom Tov.
Yes, so he brings it down, if I recall correctly, from Rabbeinu Hananel, and Rabbeinu Hananel is a primary source. In other words, we assume that if Rabbeinu Hananel says it, he has a Masorah that this was the case.
Rabbeinu Hananel was.
He was a. Actually, I don't know if I'm sorry, going to bring it to it doesn't make sense.
Rabbeinu Hananel was like an early Rishon.
Yeah, he was later. He was later with Sadia Gaon. I don't remember the source of Sadia Gaon is. I actually wrote an essay on this many years ago, but I don't remember what it is offhand. But I think.
Pick up your essay.
Yeah, I have to look it up. Okay. Very good. So to be continued.
All right, Kol Kavod.
Okay. Let's remember page 573. Okay. Take care. Have a good week. Bye-bye.